Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about Fate Remnant Collide. And so before we actually begin, I sort of made a schedule for these episodes. Specifically, I will make one episode of Fate Remnant Collide, and then after that I'll make 3 episodes of Hero of Remnant. So yeah, that's basically going to be the schedule for it. Anyways, let's start the actual episode, shall we? So we currently see Team Wrath, aka Rex's team, and the leader currently being Walter is just eating breakfast with them. As Rex would say this. So guys, what are we supposed to do this time? He would say. Said a somewhat annoyed Harmony. As one of them would say this, specifically Rex. Well, I heard from my mom that there's apparently we're gonna go to the I think it was called Forever Fall Forest. I think he would say. As one of them would say this, specifically Tina. Oh, I know that place. I heard it's quite beautiful, she would say. As Walter would say this. As Walter would say this. Yeah, I heard that the syrup there is actually pretty good. Especially good on pancakes, apparently, he would say. As one of them would say this, specifically Harmony. Hmm, yeah, I actually did heard about that. I've been actually trying to maybe make some sort of like syrup for that as well. I also wanted to make like a special coffee that also has that as an ingredient, she would say. As after saying that, he would say this, specifically Rex. Oh, really? Then it's actually going to be tomorrow, so. As one of them would say this. Cool. So, what are we supposed to do there? As he would say this. Well, apparently, we're just gonna go get some syrup there. Apparently, Professor Peach needs that to do some of her research, apparently, he would say. As after saying that, one of them would say this, specifically Tina. So are we gonna keep some of it? She would say. As she would say this. Well, we can get like some for ourselves, but we just need to get a few samples for Professor Peach. As after saying that, one of them would say this, specifically Harmony. I see. She would say. As after saying that, he would say this, specifically Rex. Oh crap! We should probably get to class, okay? As one of them would say this, specifically Tina. Oh yeah, let's go, she would say. As after doing so, they would start leaving to go to club. Sorry about that. Wait for a second. What the fuck was that? Sorry about that. Anyway, continue on. As after that, they would start leaving to go to, you know, go to class where they're currently being taught by currently in class where they're being taught by Dr. Ublek, as he's currently talking about the whole Faunus War. Or the, I think it was called the Great War. No, I'm not really sure. I kind of forgotten about it ever since, since I watched, RWBY for a while. I mean, I've been watching RWBY for a while now, but I sort of forgotten that part. So I think it might be called the Great War, or was it called or is it the World War? So either way, or the Faunus War, or whatever. As Dr. Ublek is basically talking about how the Faunus were basically much more superior than humans, and not in a bad way, but more like saying how they're super powerful in some senses. And not only that, during one of the wars, much more prominent, things, specifically a place known as, I think it was called Fort something. I can't remember the actual name of it, but as Dr. Oblek would basically talk about it, as he would say this. So, mind telling me why did the Faunus won that battle exactly? One of them would say, Oblek would say, as everybody's basically just like not listening. Or at least some of them. Mostly, Rex and some of the members of Team Wrath, and also some of Team RWBY, and also some of Team, well, Team, I think it was called, yeah, Team Juniper. As most of them were, listening. As in most, I mean just Rex, Walter, Tina, and not even, actually, no, not even, Harmony is listening because she's just listening to her music. Meanwhile, almost all of Team RWBY, except for Weiss, are basically listening to Dr. Oblek. As, as after a while, basically, like, looking at the students, Rex would just say this. Fine, he would say. As after doing so, he would raise his hand. As Oblek would say this. Ah, what is it, Rex, my boy, he would say. As he would say this. The reason why the fondest one is because of their superior features. Like, for example, um, wait for a second. Us, um, the ability to see through the dark, and not only that, their superior vision, and also their super heightened senses, like their, hearing. He would say, as he would say this. Correct. So, mind telling me why the reason why fondnesses were currently discriminating at that time? As after saying that, you know, Rex would just raise his hands once again, as he would say this. As he would say this. Yes, what is it exactly, Mr. Goodwitch, he would say. As he would say this. Well, isn't that obvious? They were basically discriminated because of their features, he would say. It's actually quite disgusting, he would say. As after saying that, one of them would say this, specifically Cardin. Come on, they're just animals, he would say. As after saying that, Rex would basically slam his hands as he would look at Cardin with an angry glare. As, once again, Cardin would be scared shitless and would fall off his seat. As Oobleck would say this, Mr. Goodwitch, I think it's better to not, get angry because of that. Besides, I do agree with you in that terms. Especially with how, and I mean how many, things that happened during that war. Seriously, he would say. As after saying that, he would look towards, Rex once again, as he would say this. And yes, you are correct. This is why wars have happened. Because we didn't understand each other. And because of that, let's just say, bad, and I mean bad things happened, he would say. As after saying that, he would say this. Oh, look at the time. It seems that it's finally time for you to get, to get going now. And also, be prepared for tomorrow's field trip, he would say. As after saying that, he would start leaving, as everybody would start leaving as well. As while he was getting ready to leave, one of them, specifically one of his teammates, specifically, Tina, would say this. So, is it true that you, as he would say this? Well, yeah, Rex would say, as he would say this. I absolutely hate the people that basically, herded faunas just because of their features. I mean, they're basically just humans, he would say. As after saying that, Tina would say this. I guess so, she would say. As he would say this. Oh, are you perhaps one of those victims, he would say? As she would say this. Well, no, she would say. Maybe because I was born and raised in Menagerie, she would say. As he would say this. Ah, I see, he would say. As after saying that, before he can actually leave, we would currently see, Blake currently, hearing their little conversation, as she would smile, saying, not only you're quite the looker, she would say. You're actually quite nice, she would say to herself. Hmm. Maybe I should try and catch him, she would say. Specifically, Blake would say. As after that, we would move, we would basically fast forward a little bit to back to the dorms, specifically, back in Rex's dorms. As currently Rex and the rest of Team Wrath are basically cooking up dinner, he would hear, one of them would say this, specifically Walter. As Walter would say this, hey guys, he would say. As one of them would say this, specifically, Tina. As one of them would say this, specifically, Tina herself, as she would say this. Yes, Walter, she would say, as he would say this. Have you noticed that Jane seems to be, acting weird for some odd reason? He would say, as he would say this. Yeah, now that you mention it, said Rex, as he would say this. It seems that she started acting a bit weird, and surprisingly, she seems to be working with, or at least walking with Cardin when we left class, he would say. As after saying that, one of them would say this. Specifically Harmony. Is she being blackmailed, she would say? As Rex would say this. I'm honestly not sure. To be honest, I'm not even sure if he's actually doing anything wrong. But if so, I'll make him pay, he would say. As one of them would say this. Specifically, Walter, as he would say this. If that man is actually quite the, quite the pawn dog, then as he would get ready his pistols, as he would say this. I mean, his pistol. I'll make sure to blow him sky high, he would say. As after saying that, Harmony would agree, including Tina. And after that, we moved to, after that little conversation, as everybody's, getting ready for the field trip to, you know, Forever Fall Forest, as everybody's basically getting their jars and also getting, changing into their more, combat focused uniforms, they would start leaving to go to, well, wait for a second, as everybody's basically getting ready to go to the Forever Fall Forest. Currently, we see Rex and also the rest of like team, and the rest of like Team Wrath, as they're currently with Team Ruby as well, and also Team Juniper, minus Jean herself or Jane, as everybody's basically grabbing some like sap, as we currently see him, specifically, wait for a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, continuing on, as we currently see Rex basically grabbing a bit of the sap from, the little like, um, well, tap thing, as he would put them into like jars. As after a while, basically putting, a lot of like, sap into several jars, he would look back and would see most of them were empty. As Rex would say this. Seriously, he would say, why is, as one of them, specifically one of his heroic spirits, specifically a female voice would be heard, as one of them, or at least the female voice would say this. Hey, Master, I think I found the reason why most of the sap is basically being, well, gone, she would say. As after, that female voice said that, he would look behind him and would see, well, Nora, drinking the sap, like whole. As he would say this. Uh, are you serious? He would say. As she would say this. What? It's good, she would say. As he would say this. I'm surprised that they're not gonna get diabetes from that, he would say. As she would say this. What? As after, whispering that, he would say this. Oh, nothing, he would say. As he would look towards Ren, as Ren would say this. Nora, I think it's better to not do that. Besides, we're gonna have enough of that before, we can just get our own later, he would say. As she would say this. Oh, cool, she would say. As after doing so, the rest of like, the rest of the teams except for Jean, obviously, or Jane, obviously, as they would start getting more sap. And after a while, they would get an alert by somebody. Specifically, one of Team Cardinal's members, as they would say, somebody help, said one of them, as specifically this person being that of, I think his name was Thrust? The green-haired bastard. Yeah, he basically starts saying, help, help, he would say, as one of them specifically, Walter would say this, whoa, 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 what the hell is happening here, he would say. Sorry about that, as he would say this. It's a Ursa, he would say, as one of them would say this. Seriously? Well, said one of them, as one of them would say this. It's true, I'm not telling a joke or doing a prank or anything, he would say, as he would say this, specifically, Rex. Tell me where he is, or at least, where's the Ursa, he would say, as he would say this. Over there, he would say, please get out of here, trust me, it won't be pretty, he would say, as after saying that, he would start leaving, basically running away, including some of the other, also the other two members of Team Cardinal would also, run out of the way, as currently we see, Rex going like, seriously, he would say to himself, and after that, he would start leaving to go to where, Cardin and also Jane apparently are. As when he arrived there, he would see Jane and also, Cardinal, aka, Cardin basically, being beaten down by the Grim, aka a large Ursa Major, as Rex would say this. I guess it's time for you to get. I think it's time for you to have your time now, he would say, as the female voice would say this. Finally, she would say, and after that, he would snap his fingers as his glyph would appear under the Grim. So yeah, this is going to be the end of this episode, so yeah. Bye-bye!